some differences in brains. That kind of satiety doesn't get turned on very quickly, or hunger gets turned on a lot more. How about how you actually, your LPL and HSL levels? If you just made a whole lot more LPL, you're going to have a much greater tendency to store fat. If you make a whole lot of HSL compared to someone else, you're going to have a much greater tendency to burn fat. Just throwing out, just want to get your mind thinking about where does our biology intersect with our body weight? I mean, we could have a whole class just on this, but we won't. Sorry, I know I'm always teasing you. Well, let's just talk about a couple of ways that this intersects. And one is the hormone leptin. This is a hormone that's produced by the fat cells. The more fat on the body, the more leptin you make. Leptin turns on satiety. That kind of makes sense. We talked about this, I think, a little bit before, that leptin could be the long-term, I mean, it's communicating long-term fuel storage status. That came out nicely. It's communicating long-term fuel storage status. How much fuel you have stored. Message to the brain. Oh, we don't need to be eating because we got a lot of fuel on this here body. Now, leptin does a lot of other things. Leptin was discovered not that long ago. The gene that codes for leptin is called the OB gene. And if there is a mutation in this gene, you don't make leptin, and you wouldn't feel satiety, and you would keep eating, and you'd become obese. When this gene was discovered, this was front page news. The cause of obesity was discovered. Once you identify a gene that is the cause of a disorder, you're on your way to finding a treatment. I mean, this was big news. I wish I'd kept some newspapers with the headlines about this. Now, is this the cause of true obesity for humans? Unfortunately, no. In mice, yes, but not in humans, except in a few rare cases. So when I talk about under 20 people have been identified who have a mutation that causes obesity, that's what we're talking about. They don't make leptin. Everybody else who's overweight or obese has lots of leptin. So their problem is not that they don't make leptin. Maybe it's the leptin insensitivity. Maybe the brain is not picking up that leptin. Maybe the message that leptin is supposed to be transmitted to the brain isn't getting through. And maybe leptin can be influenced by our diet and lifestyle. We are actually kind of in the infancy of understanding leptin. But what we do know is obese people have a lot of leptin. It's not getting the job done.